You're listening to Brett on the Skateboarding Show.
May you introduce yourself?
Now?
Yes, please.
I'm Dan Katchi.
All right, Dan. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. Whereabouts are you right now?
Currently in my kitchen making a coffee in Leeds, North Yorkshire.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually in Harrogate.
Oh, right. Okay.
The snobby end of Leeds.
Right. Okay.
Where all the posh cunts live. So I'm the bit of rough.
You're the bit of rough.
I'm the bit of rough.
Nice. I'm in the penthouse suite of the Skateboarding Show Manners.
Right.
In the office upstairs.
Element show.
Yeah. Something like that. Because you've lived in a few different places, haven't you? Like.
I have. Yeah. I've travelled a bit, I suppose you could say.
You really...
So originally from Barry Island, but.
Is it?
That's it. And I moved into Cardiff city centre. I've been to Blackpool. I lived in Blackpool for a couple of years. And then after Blackpool, I was in Cheltenham in Gloucester. I was there for about 3 years, and now I'm here in Harrogate.
Yes, I remember you being around these ways for a little bit. That was nice.
Yeah, constantly moving.
Yeah.
I used to get bored really quick. But then that was also a downfall for me because I didn't really get to stick into a certain scene in skating. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
As like a permanent fixture, I suppose.
You were a nomad.
A little bit, yeah, I suppose. But I guess I've been able to dabble in a few. You know, I've always got into the skateboard communities. I've been where I've been and got involved with stuff, so I can't complain. Nice.
And so how long have you been up in the Leeds area now then?
About 3 years actually. It was just as COVID happened.
Right.
That was like the first lockdown and stuff. I was back and forth up here visiting Lucy.
Who is Lucy?
My partner. You've actually met Lucy. You met her in Cirencester.
I did, didn't I? Yes.
Yeah. 2 seconds.
That's right. He's gone silent. He's put the phone on mute.
What was that, mate? Sorry.
Did you put the phone on mute for a second there?
Yes, I did. Yeah, sorry. I was being called from upstairs.
Just doing some media, love.
Just doing some media.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with Brett.
Yeah. That is a far more accurate description of it. Right. And had you only just met Lucy at that point?
Oh no, we'd known each other for a while.
Right.
But it was just at the time, obviously nobody was working, so I was back and forth here. It was a bit before the first lockdown, to be honest. And then, yeah, obviously it all went a bit mental, and I came up here. I was still back and forth Cheltenham quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? I still had a place down there, and then obviously we found out that we were going to have Little Roo. So when I found that out, I decided to move up here.
Wow.
Because it's the right thing to do, you know. So.
And Roo is short for Ruben.
Yeah. That's what it says on his birth certificate. However, he is just Roo. Crazy Roo.
And how old is he now?
He will be 2 in April.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's already He's already trying to skate, ripping around in the living room. He can do manuals, and he tries to ollie. He's fucking crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'll have a future little ripper, I hope.
Well, that is the way to do it. Start them young, keep them keen.
Well, exactly. Yeah. No school, skating every day.
Yeah, that is the best school. What are you on about? Like, why would you not do that? What could you learn at school that you can't learn out skateboarding? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, I fucked school up, and I've done all right.
Exactly. It's all just Actually, we could. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a little bit of history, and then we'll get into. But keep that in mind. Keep that in mind about how you messed up school, but you still did all right. And we'll try and circle back around to that if either of us remembers.
Right.
But,
okay.
Because we've known each other and bumped into each other for years, right? Like.
Yeah.
I think I first met you at the original. Like, it wasn't even campus didn't even own it. It was like the Winterbourne skate park, the indoor one, before campus took it over.
Yes, the wooden park.
Yes, in Bristol.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And you were like this tattooed skateboarder doing full tech shit. I'm like, what? What's going on? You look like full mosher. And you've got this whole massive tech repertoire as well.
Well, back then my hair was very very long.
Yes.
It's a long time ago. I cut it off after a crazy weekend at NAS.
Oh. Oh, what, like on purpose or as a...
I guess so. I guess I was just on like the biggest come down ever when I came home. You just drink at NAS, and I just had enough. I just ended up putting my hair in like a ponytail, cutting the ponytail off, looked fucking ridiculous. So I took the shave then, and since then it's just a figment of my imagination.
I think there is something about the energy at that place that even without any drugs, like there's like if it all depends who you are, I guess, in a way, but like it's quite intense. There's nothing to do all weekend apart from watch or be involved in some amazing skateboarding if you're there for the skateboarding or the action sport side of it.
Yeah.
And then there's the crazy finals on the Sunday. Everybody goes off, and then all of a sudden it's like, right, we're all going home. See you later. Bye. Oh
yeah. I mean, it's there was 2 years where I would go, do the whole. I would always be entered into the open part of the competition, never the pro part. So I always had to do the whole Thursday thing.
Right.
And I would do that, and then depending how that went, I would literally just get Friday, Saturday, Sunday to party, I guess. But for me, it was, I enjoy NAS because obviously, getting wasted is all right. It's something I haven't done in a very long time. But it was more being able to see everybody,
Yeah. I
mean, like I'm quite secluded up here in the sense of, everybody that I know lives far away. Don't really get to see everybody at once, I mean, I've got my little crew up here, like Blackpool Ways, like Danny Moore, Connor Vassy, like Liam Edgerton and that. We skate a lot, or we meet in Manchester. But yeah, it was always nice to have everybody in one place,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For sure, yeah.
I've been looking forward to it this year. I didn't go last year. I wasn't allowed. I kind of put my foot in it a bit on social media. So.
Oh well. Yeah, I met Connor just before Christmas at the comp at
The Liverpool one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he fucking rips Connor.
He's got it, hasn't he? He's got it.
Yeah, Connor's actually started riding for Hellcomes.
Right, I definitely want to get into that. I definitely. Just remind me. So, how old are you now?
31.
Okay. I always think that's interesting. Give some context, and just in case people haven't, haven't which I don't expect anyone to have heard any of my previous stuff or whatever. Just give it. So, if you're 31, how old were you when you started skateboarding?
16.
What some might say would be, not really.
I was a late starter.
Yeah,
so,
well,
yeah.
I didn't want to say late starter, but kind of, yeah, something along those lines, like a medium starter.
Oh yeah. It literally all started because one Christmas, my next door neighbor, their grandparents had bought their kids skateboards, and their kid was a bit accident prone. A few weeks before, he'd actually had an accident on a pogo stick and knocked all his teeth out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so after Christmas, she'd kind of waited off towards New Year's and actually knocked my door, and they gave me like a real cheap kind of popsicle setup, and there was a fishtail, like a proper kind of 80s fishtail type board as well.
Amazing.
And that's how I started. I found sorry. I found a group of friends at the high school that I was in, and just I knew a couple of them, just from being in school, and then that's how it started. After high school, it was kind of through high school, so I was just kind of left high school, So I would say probably about 15, 16.
So we're going back about 15, 16 years ago then.
Yeah.
About 15, yeah. So yeah. So we're going back to, Jesus, like 2007, 2008.
Yeah, around then, yeah.
So you weren't even. So it was getting that board. That's kind of post Tony Hawk Pro Skateboarder game. All the hype from that.
I remember having all them from pretty much the first one.
Right. Okay.
Me and my friend Jack used to play them all the time before going out skating.
Right.
But yeah, it's fucking mental when you think about it now. 15, 16 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That far back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But none of the boys that I skated with back in school, none of them skate. They surf. That's kind of the transition everybody took, within a year or two after, everybody just kind of just seen surfing as something that they were drawn towards a lot better than skateboarding. So, I lost pretty much all the boys to surfing. So I just used to, I'd just go to the car park behind the back of my parents' house with some headphones and just fucking practice all my shit in a car park. Years come, I meet new people, and I got a few of my friends into skating. But yeah, the scene in Barry wasn't Cardiff. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's you had your little crew, but Cardiff is on a much bigger level. So, shortly after that, I started going into Cardiff more and meeting more of the Cardiff guys. But I kind of knew a handful of them from watching videos and stuff. And that's how it grew. That's how it started, man. Just from my next door neighbour.
And over the years, you've had your share of sponsors and board sponsors and shoe sponsors.
The thing is when I first started skating, I didn't really research the UK skateboarding scene that much. if I'm honest.
Right.
You know, it was more like, you know, everything that I was seeing was American skaters. Ryan Sheckler, Paul Rodriguez, all them guys.
Right.
And, you know, I followed that side of skateboarding really early. And I didn't actually get to know many UK skaters until years after. Yeah. Because I just assumed, you know, like I didn't have, even though I had my friends to go skating with, I didn't have somebody with knowledge, you know, that could guide me through knowing who these people are. So, like, a good example, like Joe Habgood, for example, like, you know, he's well known, but a lot of people, you know, me and Joe's talked about spots and stuff, and like he knows like what skaters been to what spots. I didn't have anybody like that, so I was meeting people that I didn't have a clue who they were. You know, for example, like back when there was an indoor skate park in Newport, you know, I used to skate with like Sam Pulley and Jake Collins and stuff, not knowing at the time who they were. You know, and that's how I got to meet them almost. But yeah,
it's kind of almost better that way.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is like you know me. I have a very positive attitude. I have a very kind of like always happy type mood that I try and keep up.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that sometimes, you know, I try to get to know people that were at a stature a lot higher than me, and you know, maybe even made myself look like an idiot sometimes, you know, because I don't know, I've always had sort of like a kind of anxiety with meeting people who I already know who they are, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was easier for me in that aspect, where if I didn't know who they were, then I wouldn't have built up this anxiety and this, you know, like it was actually really hard for me to skate in front of people who I knew were fucking sick, you know?
Yeah.
It's like going to the skate park for the first time. Like I suffered a lot with that when I first started, and that's why I just went to a car park, because I could just have music. It was just me. So that's how, yeah. See, people don't be down as like this arrogant, obnoxious, tattooed skateboarder, when the truth is that's not who I am at all. I'm a very timid, anxious person.
And is that something that's like affected your skateboarding?
No, because it's the same with everybody. Skateboarding to me is my outlet of being in a bubble, you know. And if I've had music in, like, nothing else matters, you know. It's just me learning to skate, and that's it. And I think we had the Knapp skate park. When the Knapp skate park was when it was rebuilt to the Richard Taylor Memorial Park, which was the wooden park, like, that was like my roots of, you know, a lot of how I became a skater, because I could go there again on my own with headphones in and just do what I wanted to do. Obviously, I had friends that would come down there, but most of the time, I was just known for that guy that would just put headphones in and just skate, you know, not kind of conversate with people while skating. When I stopped skating, I would then speak to people.
Right.
But, you know, over the years, yeah, it got better. I got louder. You know, like a lot of my older friends will say to me now, you know, like, you're different to when you first were kind of, when I kind of realized that I could skate, you know, not to any sort of ability, but I was just comfortable. I'd try and let my skateboarding do the talking, you know, like I would just skate and I would enjoy doing it. And to me, that was all that mattered. But I was a bit of a crazy teenager, in the sense of, you know, doing stupid things. So, you know, I kind of lived up to the whole jackass kind of aspect with my friends of just being fucking idiots whilst not skating anyway. And I think that was what brought it out of me, was being a part of, almost like a bigger crew, you know?
But at the same time, would you describe yourself as introverted then? If you say that you weren't talking to
No,
people,
because I love conversation.
Right, okay.
I love speaking to people. I love, and I think to a certain age I was, where I would just keep to myself. But then, I kind of think to myself, well, that's not going to get me anywhere. You know, like I could be at a skate park, just talk to no one, just skate and then leave. Well, all right, that's what I've gone there to do. And, that's what I've always done, because I needed my time to skate, and I wouldn't let anybody stop me from doing that. That was my plan. I'd go, I'd skate, and sometimes I would just leave. But obviously, over the years, I've got a lot better. And now, I'll speak to anybody, I help anybody. But it's also kind of been my downfall, in a sense of, like, I've tried to speak to, some bigger UK names, and, to get more involved with things. Not, oh my God, sponsor me. Just more of a sense that, like, I wanted to be. I came out of this being on my own, just skating on my own, to then learning that I should speak to people, to then learning, I want to be a part of what I see in videos, which is, a gang of people skating together, filming together, everything else. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would like go out of my way to message people and to try and get out with people. Like, even to this day, I still don't have, like, somebody I can ring and film. But I think that's kind of where my downfall comes, because I've gone a bit too much with it, and people might think, like, fuck, who's this guy? Do you see what I mean? I don't necessarily know people, but I try to get to know people, and sometimes I just feel like it's done me a bit of injustice because I've gone about it the wrong way.
By pushing yourself out there too much.
By putting myself out there to be like, oh, hey man, oh, I'd love to be more involved with this, or I'd love to be more involved with that. Like, people would take that the wrong way, but the truth is I just want to be, even more involved in a community.
See,
which again leads to, because I've jumped ship so many times.
Right. Okay.
To different places. Do you know what I mean? So, like, in the Cardiff scene, for example, I was there the most. So, people like Nick Jones, Jake Tucker, I could ring them, go skating with them anytime. Like, they were like my boys when I lived there. We'd go drinking together, skating together, everything. But yeah, I've just found myself at sort of instances where, I've tried to build relationships through kind of like behind a phone more, if anything, and it's just always been portrayed wrong. So I don't know whether that's kind of on me or what, or I don't know. I just get this kind of, like I said, anxiety sometimes.
I think the skateboarding world is really interesting as well, in terms of, and you said the critical C word there, community.
Mm.
And I think there are some pockets of community because I asked about the introvert thing as well, because I'm interested in the bubble that you talked about. You talked about going out and skating in a bubble on your own.
Yeah.
And I wonder about a sort of generational thing. So I was like a little grom in the 90s, in the early 90s, and all I saw was bigger, older boys who were like loud and brash and like proper extrovert and would talk to anyone, and at the same time you had to earn their respect. You had to earn the right to talk to them, and you had to you had to earn them talking to you. And like, over summers and summers and summers, probably still now, I'm like beating away at these people who eventually would talk to me and allow me into their community.
Yeah.
And then what I think I've seen, funnily enough, in the same sort of time scale that you're talking about, like the last 15, 20 years, from about 2000, 2005 onwards, is a more sort of introverted style of skateboarder who wants to put on their headphones and wants to just be left alone, and I'm the one who now feels. See, it's funny because I wonder how many other people feel sort of weirdly
there's gonna be loads. There's gonna be loads of people like that. I mean,
I feel out of place because I'm the one down the skate park being loud, and I'm trying to shout. I'm trying to shout comments of reward to people. I'm trying to shout encouragement, and they're all looking at me funny, going, "Who's this old twat with his big mouth?" Like, no one cares. Like, why haven't you got headphones in, being cool like us? And I'm like, they're going, no, it's cool to make noise and encourage people. Like, why are you not encouraging each other? Like, why are you not losing your shit when your mate lands his trick? Like, I don't understand. But,
I agree with that.
What I also see though is that actually it's a generational thing. Of course it is. Like you know, like there was stuff that the older boys were doing that maybe we reacted against that I maybe can't remember. You know, maybe I'm looking back with rose-tinted glasses. But at the same time, I also hear what you're saying, that like, and I think that exists as well. And I think what you're saying about, you can put yourself out there. You can literally say to groups of people, "Hi, I'm here. I'm a skateboarder as well. I'd like to be involved." And it's almost like you have to earn your right in there, when really, and I'm not trying to blow, you know, after a while you kind of shouldn't. Like, you're good enough for you to turn up to a community of people and go, "Hi, I'm a skateboarder. Let me know about sessions that are happening. Let me know about what's going on. Where are the spots? What's going on?" It's kind of like, it's interesting nowadays that people are a little bit more insular and a little bit more cliquey with their groups than it used to be. But when I say used to be, I mean I'm going right back to like the 90s, where we had to kind of look after each other and we had to hang out with each other because we weren't cool and we were going to get beaten up basically if we got caught by the wrong chav kids in the town. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't cool. But that's a really interesting phenomenon that you talk about, that like and really introspectively insightful of you to see that you're out there putting yourself out there and not always. I mean, I'm picking. This is what I'm interpreting of what you've just said, that you're putting yourself out there, and you're still trying to put yourself out there, and you're still doing things to be involved in scenes.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit different. Like, you know, the last 2 years, for example, I probably haven't done it as much as I would have done. You know, like the whole, you know, I went into my attitude when I first started skating was, like I said, I wanted to be part of, you know, a community. I wanted to be, I wanted to do what everybody else was doing.
Right.
You know, and everybody that was doing it was somebody that I looked up to.
Right.
But I didn't necessarily go the right way sometimes about trying to be a part of that.
But you're not supposed. You were new to it. You didn't know what all these rules are, and all this bullshit about there's no skateboarding and rules. There's no rules in skateboarding. That's total bullshit. We all know there is. We all know that there's an etiquette with which to conduct yourself. There's a way with which to conduct yourself. You don't pick up a skateboard and then pick up a chainsaw and cut it in half and go, "Look at my amazing new trick." Like, it's bullshit. There's rules. Of course there's rules. Like, you don't snake the fucking best skateboarder in the session and then wonder why everyone's pissed off at you. Like there's rules. There's fucking rules, man. But when you're new to it, of course you don't know those. And when you're and by new, I even still mean, you know, anything within about 5 years, I reckon. It takes a long time to learn those. And so if you were trying to learn those at 16 as well, when you're also trying to deal with like all your other shit that's going on when you're 16, like, yeah, of course you didn't do it properly. Like, of course you didn't. I'm still not doing it properly now at 40. I ain't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. Like, oh yeah, there is a rule about that, isn't there? Yeah, okay, I must remember that.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
But yeah, so over the last couple of years, it's been a bit different.
Well, I think I've got a different attitude towards it, to skateboarding as a whole.
Right.
you know, like just the whole kind of being sponsored thing, and you know, that's what I was getting to, was like when I first started skating, because I looked up to these people who were sponsored, and you know, these to you, it's almost like a way you want to be, and that was my attitude for a while. Like I wanted to be, you know, like these guys, and that was a part of, obviously, you know, me trying to get into other communities and stuff like that. But recently, I've just, well, I mean, as it stands, it was my decision that I don't ride for anybody.
Right.
Because I'm just, right now, I'm just in a place with skateboarding where I just do it because I love to do it. Like, I'm not doing it for anybody. I just want to do it for myself. You know, I don't want to have to think about and going out and being like, oh, fucking hell, like, you know, I'm going to go out and skate street now this weekend. So what have I got to film for? Like, I've been filming over the last 3-4 years.
Right.
And I've just left it in a folder. I have no pressure to bring out anything, you know? And it's not that being sponsored gave me that pressure, but I guess I had to get myself out of like the mind thought of like constantly trying to be somewhere or constantly trying to do something to keep people happy.
Right. Yeah.
And I just, you know, that's not what skateboarding is, you know. Social media was a big thing for me. Like, you know, 2-3 years ago, I'd put fucking 4 clips out, you know, a clip a week out on my Instagram. You know, like back when I lived in Cheltenham, for example, when, you know, we would skate Rush, and it, you know, it didn't really matter what the clip was. Like I could post, and people still do it now. You know, they'll just post the same fucking trick. On 10 different obstacles, and it's just like, fucking hell, like how many times are you going to post that same trick? But to me, I took a step back, and I don't post as much. Yes, I'll still use Instagram, I'll still watch skateboarding clips and whatever, but I miss how it was like back in the 90s, where you wouldn't have that, but you would know that there'd be a video coming, and then you would get to see that video. You know, and then I think you're more excited to see that video because you haven't seen all the clips that people have been posting on Instagram.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? So that's what I've been doing. I've been filming for myself in my own time with my friends, and you know, that's I just feel happier doing that.
You're listening to the Skateboarding Show.
I think one of the things that I'm beginning to really, really understand and live is the weird contradictory nature of skateboarding.
Well, yeah. You look up to people who you aspire to be somebody, you get there, and then it's like you just forget who you are.
Yeah. And not only that, but also what you were just talking about, like you start doing something because it's fun and it's a great skive off. For some people, you haven't mentioned that, I acknowledge that, but it sounds like it was also a great opportunity just for you to go out and be by yourself and do what you wanted to do without anyone telling you what to do.
Yeah.
You then got good at it, and you kind of had to do it in a way where you had to do it in a way that someone else not was telling you to do, but you had to be conscious of, I have to go and do this. If I... You know, what street clip can I go and get? What handrail can I go and do, or ledge, or drop, or whatever?
Well, yeah, and I mean, you know, I got caught up in that for years.
Yeah.
You know, when you know, kind of like I would say, my kind of early to mid 20s. You know, I wanted to be competing at NAS. You know, I wanted to be doing this. I wanted to be doing that. I wanted to still be a part of all the fucking big dogs out there.
Yeah.
They were all ripping. They were all doing cool shit. Like I wanted to be a part of that, and I would try anything to be a part of that. But that's what I was saying to you about. I feel at the same time that was also my downfall, because I was portrayed to maybe just be somebody that would just want to get involved just to get free shit and everything else.
Right.
Again, I know loads of people that get free shit and don't use their shit. Like, you know, I'm over that now.
Okay.
I don't want that. I just want to skate. I want to go out. I want to just have fun. I want to just enjoy it. So, you know, it was a decision that I made that I'm happy with. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still lucky that, you know, I'm still, that there is a handful of people out there that help me out with stuff. You know, for example, you know, I get some help with America.
Right.
Skate shoes. Obviously, boards. You know, like Creature boards were always my favorite brand. And when I was riding for the skate shop I was riding for, I was able to get them at a decent price and you know, be able to skate them. But then that's what kind of triggered on my thing to start Hellcomes, was just because I wanted to build a community where I could kind of build a platform where I'm not going to be this brand or this person that's just going to, like, you know, oh, I'll just post all the fucking best clips. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to try and build something where I can have everybody involved.
So what do you mean? Who do you mean by everybody?
Everyone. Everybody that wants to, you know, have fun, that wants to skate. You know,
do you mean from like beginner up to pro? Do you mean like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You know, like we're gonna look at sponsoring some events coming up, like the Vert series, for example.
Right.
And other bits, but you know, when they're happening, I'd like to be able to be there to maybe even help with, you know, teaching little ones how to skate, or even people that are older that, you know, that are looking to start skating. So adults, teenagers, whoever. And you know, another big one would be disabled people.
Right.
By a community, of course it's a brand, and of course it's like, you know, it's not maybe everybody's cup of tea, but that's not what I really want people to see. I want people to see that it's also going to be a community. So, you know, right now it's just obviously myself that ride, and Connor, and there's a guy called Graham, you know, who, when we get into it, we'll speak about it, and he's been a massive help with it as well. But yeah, it's more of the community aspect of things, you know. And like, I like to post like on the Instagram about, you know, love your fiends, which is like love your friends, but it's just a play on words. Because there's been a lot of, obviously, as we know, a lot of deaths through skateboarding where people feel like they can't speak to people. And I don't know whether it's because of the stigma that we've spoken about how, you know, people are feeling shy to have to skate with somebody. And does that then play a big part in, well, is that going to be the same with their mental attitude as well as the way that they would skate on their own? If you catch my drift. Yeah. So yeah, it's, you know, it's at the very start at the minute, but there's things that I'm looking at doing to build it more of a community than a brand. But I've just been lucky enough that I can do everything myself. So we can have the clothes printed by ourselves. We can, you know, we actually have a heat press now, so we can do our own boards.
Nice.
And transfers. So there's no middleman. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of a big push as to why I started it. Get away from, I know the corporate companies in skateboarding have, you know, given to skateboarding for years and years, but I just felt like I should bring in a little man that can try and help with, I guess, mental health awareness, as well as that stigma in skateboarding where you've got to be fucking sick to be involved.
That is a really valid point, isn't it? Because apparently, if you follow skateboard media, the only people who have got an opinion are pros and sponsor skateboarders.
exactly.
And it's like, well, hang on, there's a whole bunch of other people that do skateboarding as well.
Yeah. But nobody seems to shine a light on them, especially on social media, because it doesn't get likes. It doesn't get shares.
No.
You know?
Yeah. Dan, tell me about it. like when I just interview any old people, or like go and like not any old, but when I interview skateboarders who are not big time names, or when I share a bit of trick of somebody doing something and they're not a big time name, yeah, who cares? Apparently nobody. And yet, see, and this is what I mean about the contradictory nature. Sometimes in skateboarding, there's a lot of talk, but people are still like, oh yeah, that's great, yeah. Oh, let's look at this American footage over here. It's like, dude, don't just talk about like trying to build a community. Not you, but other people. Other people talk about like let's build a community, or support everybody who does skateboarding, or do this or do that. It's like, well, put some action in them. Where is that? Where are you liking the stuff that isn't some big name pro American? Where is that? Where are you doing that?
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, it's down to, that's the thing when it comes to social media. It's down to everybody to help, to share, to like, to comment, and you know, not everybody does it. I mean, you know, real talk. Since I started Hellcomes, most of the followers on that page are people I don't fucking know. A handful of my friends,
right?
You know, and the saying that a customer will become your friend quicker than a friend will become your customer is fucking true. Do you know what I mean? Like, I see how many people like the stuff see the story of Hellcomes, and also when I share it through my story. But you know, people don't follow. Social media to me is just a big poison. Do you know what I mean?
It's one of those funny things that is an energy that people have got to be careful of. You're right. It can be useful, but it can be detrimental as well.
Well, yeah, and especially to people that, you know, have just started. You know, like any comment can ruin anybody's day.
Yeah.
You know, like I could go on just some random person's page and just be horrible, which I wouldn't do, of course. But you know, you can do that, and it's not nice. It's, you know, you don't get that at face value in the street, because the truth is that people haven't got the bollocks to do it to your face.
Yeah, that is the problem with.
That's why social media is a poison. You know, I have it for purposes of just trying to spread the word. That's it. Right. I'll always speak to people that say nice things. I'll always speak to people that have sent me messages about it, and vice versa with my personal page. But you know, I'm trying to rule negativity out of my life, because it's not what you want. Not when you're trying to push yourself forward and you're trying to do something for yourself, which is essentially what skateboarding is and always will be, is for yourself, or should be for yourself. Yeah.
Again. Yeah. With that weird, contradictory, double-edged nature about like, it's for yourself, but it's good to do it with friends, and it's for yourself, but we need product. I mean, I don't know anyone who's growing their own trees, man, or like making their own polyurethane. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are involved with each other. We are symbiotic.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also hear what you're saying about, like, you know, at the end of the day, if I land a trick, it's me that feels the elation of doing it. Or
exactly.
Or the relief, depending on how long it's taken.
Yeah. But you don't do that for the 20, 25 people around you. You do it for yourself.
Yes.
You know, and that's what it's all about. But then it's like you're kind of a hypocrite if you do it for social media, because you post something that's taken you hours on social media for everybody to see. Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Skate videos in general are a bit weird in terms of they never. I've often wondered if you should have a little number in the corner of the screen, which is the number of tries it took you to land that trick.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody's got like 4 seconds of some amazing trick, But nobody knows that, like, dude, I had to go back to that spot like 20 times.
Yeah.
Or like I had to go back to that spot, genuinely I had to go back to that spot 3 times. First time it got rained out, the second time I couldn't land it even though we were there for an hour, and the third time I just about made it and rolled away, and I was like, right, that's it, I'm done.
Nobody tells that story.
No.
Everybody just wants to seem like they landed everything bolts first try. That's not what Hellcomes will be. It'll be true to the. Go on.
That's not what will be. Sorry.
That's not what Hellcomes will be.
Right. Okay.
Like, if we're out filming and stuff and there's bales, that's what's going to be posted. It's going to be real shit. Do you know what I mean? If you're out there and it's taking you this many tries, then that's what's going to be shown. I think it gives you more of an engagement with somebody watching that. Do you know what I mean? Like, skateboarding is not easy.
It's going to give you something to relate to.
Exactly
It's going to give you something to relate to. It's going to make you go, because there's a weird again, like skate videos can mean different things to different kids. So like I was definitely one of those kids who watched a skate video and went, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
What are you joking? Like, oh my god. And then you get a bit older and you go to a skate competition and you're like, well, hang on, I've seen this dude do this video part and it was totally amazing, and now I'm seeing them skate now, and the two things don't seem to really align with each other. Like, I'm a bit confused. Like,
because he's not able to land his tricks now.
Or because nobody explains, like, no, that's a skate video. That took him like days, weeks, maybe even months to land that one trick. Like, this is and that's what confuses me about why people don't rate competition skaters. It's like those competition skaters, the buzzer goes off and they got to go out and do that shit there and then. There's no like, oh, let me just retry that. It's like, no. You got 45 seconds, get it done.
Mate, that was one thing that I could never get my head around, was being in competitions. Even though I went to a lot, it was a mix of like the anxiety of being consistent.
Yeah, I think we've got this media in general, let alone skateboarding media. That we've perpetuated these perfect images and these perfect ideas, and then we wonder why. And it all feeds back in. It all feeds back into things like mental health issues. We wonder why there's so many mental health issues when people are bombarded with these ideas of and images of perfection. And nobody's got the courage or the ability, because everyone's trying to sell something. Nobody's there going, no, that's not real life. This is real life over here.
Yeah.
Real life is you falling off. Real life is your clothes are going to be dirty. Real life is you're going to get sweaty and horrible.
Yeah. It's just a big. It's almost like a big mask. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like certain video parts are just a big mask for what happened behind it, which is a shame, really, because if it was portrayed in the right way, then I think people outside of skateboarding would appreciate that it's not a kid's sport. It's not. It's always baffled me why fucking footballers are paid the money that they're paid to go running up a field, where we go skating for fun, and there's just no market for it in the UK.
No.
Outside of the skateboarding industry, which I know we don't really want, but do you know what I mean? Like, there's people in the States that are doing it, and I'm sure there's a handful of people in the UK that are able to live from it, but not comfortably.
So briefly, you mentioned there, because I think we're beginning. We obviously are talking about Hellcomes, and you talked about Graham.
Yeah.
Who's Graham and what's his?
So I've known Graham for a few years. He's a friend of mine who lives not far from me, about an hour, and he's got a company called Drop Clothing.
Right.
So it's like, it started off like kind of snowboardy, like organic type stuff, and he's got like a kind of cool kind of skateboarding kind of. I'm just trying, like, not kind of tattoo vibe, but you know, he's his stuff's cool. Like, he went to Boardmasters, and like, you know, his stuff sold out. Everybody loved it. It's, you know, it's like Surfest, bit of BMX designs, skateboarding designs, and so anyway, I'm droning on. He's got a unit next to one of his bigger units, because his main job is he builds steering racks for cars.
Right.
But he's got a unit next to that has all the equipment to print clothes, because he does like embroidery, you know, printed t-shirts for people, school uniforms, all that stuff. So that's how he started Drop. He embroidered Conor McGregor's suit for his last UFC fight.
Right.
Which
Okay.
was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And he's done a load of football kits for David Beckham, who had that show recently, which I haven't watched because I don't really give a shit about it. But yeah, so me and him sat down, and you know, he basically gave me the avenue to be able to start Hellcomes. So, you know, I sorted all the designs and the graphics and that side of it. And I sourced then boards from there's a company in Bournemouth called Back and Forth Prints. Right. So they do the clown skateboards.
Okay.
So I put in an order with Tommy for the boards that we have now. And then, you know, within like a week, we built and brought up, you know, Hellcomes. We got the clothes printed pretty quick. The boards were done. We actually drove down to Bournemouth and picked the boards up. But it's, you know, it's me who runs it. So nice. He helped me with getting everything done, you know. So it was really nice of him to do, and he still does. Like, all my stuff at the minute is actually on his website. It's under I think it's under a collabs tab. So he's letting me use the website so people can purchase stuff. And it's done pretty well. Like, I think I got 28 boards done, and we've got under 10 of them left. And also, we did this tactical vest, and like, you know, they've sold out super quick as well.
Nice.
But Graham's actually Graham's like he's like a full-on Christian. Right. So goes to church, and he's actually the pastor of a church, which is, you know, the most ironic thing, because he's helped me start a company called Hellcomes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Lucy actually just pointed that out to me. So yeah, so I was very lucky for him to help me out with the facilities that he had. We've got some new stuff dropping as well now. Like next week, got some new T-shirts, which are tattoo inspired. They're not quite as heavy as the first drop, because that was quite mosher, kind of witchcraft vibes. So yeah, man, it's cool. I'm just gonna see how it goes, you know. But so far, it's gone well.
Well, I think we're going to start wrapping this up, if that's all right. I think we could sit here and talk for hours, but
oh yeah, no, I agree.
I know that people won't listen, unfortunately, for hours. But what we can do, and nor should they either, because there's important things to go do, like go skateboarding. Yes. But what we can do is, as always, we can check back in another time.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe that time we'll come back. Right, we will circle back round to you not doing well at school, but doing well now. Because I think it's all part of the skateboard vibe of, like, just, well, you make it work somehow, don't you? You just make it work.
Yes. Yeah. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, there's also that. There's also that vibe about skateboarding. Like, if this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it work because it's what I want to do. So I'll do whatever it is I need to do to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is some. Yeah, yeah, and that means on the micro level of landing a trick, and on the macro level of like, this is what I want to do in my life. So how do I do this? How do I make it work somehow?
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own path,
Yeah. Dan Katchi, thank you. Let's arrange something at some point. Because okay, so what do you have coming up? What do you have coming? Just briefly, we'll end on this. What have you got coming up this summer? You just mentioned a new line of t-shirts coming out.
Yeah, so there'll be a new drop with some boards and some t-shirts coming in the next couple of weeks. For me, it's just going to be still going out, still filming, try and get this. It will be one of 2 video parts to come out. And then we'll have NAS, then Simple Session, and then everything else in between.
And are you filming some stuff with Connor as well?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm glad that Connor's on board, because over the last kind of 6 months to a year, I've been shooting with Tom Quigley, the photographer, quite a lot, and I've been in about 5 skateboard mags since shooting with Tom, which is rad, and that's just what I've been focused on,
Right.
and I want Connor to be a part of that as well. I think Connor's actually been in Vague Mag a couple of times already.
Nice.
So I'm hoping, if me and him come together, then we can start raising awareness through one of Z Mags, and start, building something proper.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Well, whenever you got stuff going on, man, come and let me know, and we'll have you on, and let's do what I can to rep it to the listener of this podcast.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Brett. Thank you.
And are you the most critical question, of course? Are you doing any 9-inch whiteboards or any shape boards?
Yeah. We're not doing anything less than an 825. So our boards are actually from HLC distribution. So they're the same wood as like Skate Mafia, Plan B, and G-Art. Although the shape that I've picked has got a higher concave. So I used to ride 838 boards. I have for years, until I rode one of these, and now I'm on an 85.
Nice.
And it flips like a motherfucker.
With a really deep concave.
I wouldn't say deep, but when I first set one up, it didn't look massive, but you could just feel that it was a nice slim 8.5,
Right.
And yeah, they flip great, and also HLC have a great they have a great range of boards, like pool shapes, twin tails, everything. So I've got a lot of plans for stuff that we're going to look at doing, and because I can do it all here, hopefully my future plan is to start actually contacting people and maybe printing boards for other people as well. Nice. Because a lot of people do it abroad for the UK, and I know it's fucking expensive. So, if Hellcomes as a brand, which will also be tied in with the printing, if I can do that for skate shops, whoever, I'm more than happy to do that. So we cut out any expensive, ridiculous expenses from being shipped from fucking Germany or anywhere else. My whole plan is to give back to skateboarding as a community, whether it's printing boards for people, teaching people to skate, whatever. I'm just gonna, anything like that. That's what I want to do.
Sweet. Sweet.
So,
Dan,
I'll have to start somewhere, mate.
I love it. I love the idea of it, and I want to hear more. And I want to stay in contact, and we'll do some check-ins, and we'll do some just some more stuff.
Anytime, Brett. Any fucking time, mate.
I definitely.
You hit me up.
And Yeah. I'm sort of undecided about NAS at the moment, only because I'm just picking this stuff back up myself really a little bit, and I don't know if I really warrant going. But I might drop them a buzz and see when the old media applications are. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you there.
I'll be there, but I won't be drunk. I'm gonna be bringing my little ones, so you know they could be a part of it. And Lulu will be there.
Brilliant.
So it's going to be a different year for me. Yeah. Instead of being covered in glitter, raving my head off till 4 a.m. and get up and skating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a picture somewhere of me.
There's got to be
inside the judges thing with Habgood and Sid, covered in glitter, looking like a fucking mermaid.
And they're looking all fresh faced and showered, and you're looking
that's past me. Like fucking drinking and all that now, man. I'm not about that.
Sweet. We can go and have a cup of tea together somewhere then. Lovely.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, mate.
Dan, thank you very much as always. Thank you.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Just remind us where we can check out your stuff.
My Instagram is @Dan Katchi, and the Hellcomes stuff is literally just @Hellcomes_.
Sweet.
So yeah, say hello. I'll say hello back. Do your thing, and I will provide positive feedback and anything else that I can help with.
And we can all go skateboarding, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually doing some skateboarding.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And with that in mind, say goodbye so that people are free to go turn this off and go skateboarding.
See you later, motherfuckers. You go enjoy your skateboard for yourself, not anybody else.
Later.
Love you all. In a bit.
You're listening to the Skateboarding Show, you dumb spreeds! You dumb spreeds! You dumb spreeds! You dumb spreeds!